Topic: Buildings, paintings and books. The Iron Pillar. About 1500 years ago, the Iron Pillar of Qutub Minar was made by Chandra, who was the ruler of Gupta dynasty. It is a remarkable example of the skill of Indian craftspersons. Stupas. Stupas means a mound, round and tall, big and small. A small box containing the bodily remains of the Buddha or his followers. Things and used precious stones and coins is placed at the center of the stupa. This box is known as relic casket, which was covered with earth. Then a layer of mud brick was added, and finally, the dome-like structure was covered with carved stone slabs. The path laid around the stupa was surrounded with railings, known as the Pradakshina path. Devotees walked around the stupa in a clockwise direction. Sanchi Stupa. Temples. Some Hindu temples of Vishnu, Shiva, and Durga were built around 1400 years ago. Garbhagriha was the most important part of the temple, where the image of the chief deity was placed. Shika was built on top of the Garbhagriha. Could you recognize this monument? How and by whom stupas and temples were built? Kings and queens spent money building a stupa or a temple. There were many stages of building. Stone of good quality had to be found, quarried and transported to the place. Then the stone had to be shaped, carved into pillars and panels for walls, floors and ceilings. Finally, these had to be placed in precisely the right position. Painting and epics. Ajanta is a place where caves were hollowed out and decorated with paintings. Most of these caves were Buddhist monks' monasteries. Epics are grand, long stories about heroic men, women and gods. Tamil epics. Around 18,000 years ago, Silapidikam was composed by Ilango. Around 1400 years ago, Manimkalai was composed by Satana. Sanskrit epics. The Puranas were written in simple Sanskrit verse by Vyas. It contains stories about gods and goddesses, how they were to be worshipped, how the world is created, and stories about kings. The Mahabharata was composed by Vyas. It is a story about a war fought between the Kaurava and Pandava to gain control of the throne of the Kurus, and their capital Hastinapur. The Bhagavad Gita was also included in the Mahabharata. The Ramayana was written in Sanskrit by Valmiki. It is a story about Ram, prince of Kosala, who was sent into exile. Sita, wife of Rama, was snatched by Ravana, king of Lanka. Rama had to fight a battle with Ravana to get his wife back. After winning it, Rama returned to Ayodhya, capital of Kosala. Stories told by ordinary people. Some stories told by ordinary people are preserved in the Jetkas and the Panchtantara. Stories from the Jetkas were often shown on the railings of stupas and in Ajanta paintings. Aryabhata. Aryabhata, a mathematician and astronomer, wrote a book in Sanskrit known as the Aryabhatiyam. In this book he stated, due to the Earth's rotation on its axis, day and night were caused. Also, he invented zero, discovered a formula for calculating the circumference of a circle and developed a scientific explanation for eclipses.